At the beginning of the year, I started a video series where I went from £0 to £50,000 in sales on Amazon, starting with a £5,000 investment and only using the arbitrage sourcing method. Since hitting the 50k in sales, I have now moved into a new warehouse and we are solely focusing on the wholesale method. In this video, I'm going to show you my first 30-day results, and I'm also going to give you some tips later on in the video to help you find suppliers for your Amazon FBA wholesale business. Now, this isn't the first time that I've actually done wholesale or bought wholesale products to sell on Amazon. I actually started my Amazon journey over 2 years ago, and I started with some wholesale products. At the time, I literally didn't have a clue what I was doing. I was already reselling on eBay, and Amazon was sort of the next step to get into, so I just sort of went in head first, spent a few £1,000s on products from a wholesaler, sent them into Amazon, and really was just hoping for the best at the time. All I'd done was look at a product that was selling for, say, £20 on Amazon. I found it for, say, £5 from the supplier, so I thought I'm going to buy it for a £5, sell it for £20, and of course I'm going to make a lot of money. Now, that isn't the case, and obviously it cost me a lot of time and money doing that. I was speaking to other members in the resale groups that I was in that were selling on Amazon, so I was learning little bits and pieces from them. Ultimately, I just learned on the job, made a load of mistakes, and obviously learned from those mistakes. Now, at that time, I was pretty ignorant, and I thought all courses and mentorships were a scam, so I didn't really want to pay, anyone to show me how to sell on Amazon. I just thought I could watch some YouTube videos, get stuck in, start making money on Amazon. Now, with Amazon, there is a lot of things that you need to learn. There's a lot of intricacies that you can't just find or learn by watching a YouTube video. There's so many different small details that go into it. And looking back on it, it would have been a lot better for me at the time to actually pay for a course or mentorship. Now, I'm not saying that all courses and mentorships are great. You really need to make sure you're buying them from the right person. So make sure you do your due diligence, because there is a lot of people out there that hardly even sell on Amazon, and they are selling courses that are pretty much just a load of shit, just recycled information from someone else or from somewhere else that they've learned. So if you are looking to invest in a course or mentorship, make sure you are buying from a legit source. But if I had paid to learn back then, I probably would have been, a year or so ahead of where I am right now. Something that's took me, 2 years to learn, I probably would have learned in 6 months to a year with someone teaching me how to do that. I didn't do that. I just learned on the job, which is obviously the harder way. So when I pretty much completely failed with Amazon when I started with wholesale, I then moved into the arbitrage side of things. So I was buying products online, buying products from retailers. And arbitrage is definitely a great way to learn. Really low barrier to entry, so you haven't got to spend thousands of pounds on products. All you need to do is set up your Amazon account, start buying some products online from retailers, and you can start making some money pretty much straight away. Now, arbitrage is a great way to make some money. Definitely as a side hustle, you can quite easily make a few £1,000s a month just from doing arbitrage. And of course, you don't need a unit, a warehouse, any sort of space to do that, really. You can pretty much just do that from home, out of, one room, your bedroom, whatever. And you can make a nice little bit of extra money on the side every single month. And what you're also doing at the same time as that is actually learning how to sell on Amazon, learning how Amazon works. So if you start with arbitrage, learn everything you need to learn. If you transition into wholesale, it does make the process a lot easier. You don't have to do it that way, of course, but I think arbitrage is a great way for people to learn, especially if you're starting with a smaller capital. You can start arbitrage with a lot less than what you can start wholesale with. But I think if you really want to take Amazon seriously and replace your full-time job, then you do need to be getting into wholesale as well. Now, I've actually been using some of the same suppliers from years ago when I first started. It wasn't their fault that I bought bad products or bought the wrong products. I just didn't know what I was doing. But of course, I've always kept accounts open with these suppliers, so I always get their emails and stuff. So obviously the first place I was going to go to was back to them. I have opened some new accounts as well, been working with some brands directly, and I've really been finding some great wholesale products. I've been really focusing on the ROI, so rather than just trying to do pure volume with a lower ROI, I've only been going for products that I can achieve sort of 40% at least on. Obviously, some products come down, so your ROI is lower, but I've really been looking at 40% or more, and I've actually had a few lines in that I've been selling consistently with over 100% ROI. So let's take a look at the results for the first 30 days of pretty much purely doing wholesale. So the first wholesale products that I sent in started going live roughly the middle of July. So these results cover a 30-day period from July and into August. The total sales that we done was £18,858. We sold 1,429 units, making a profit of £4,805 with a 58% ROI. I think there's a common misconception with wholesale that you're automatically going to have lower margins, lower ROI. But like I said a minute ago, you can focus on finding these high ROI products. You just have to be really patient and really specific with the products that you buy. Obviously, there's different criteria that you can set for yourself depending on what you're trying to do. Some people do just go for volume, so they'll be hitting, 20% ROI or less, but they're just doing loads and loads of volume. Whereas I'm trying to focus on the ROI and really make the money go as far as it can. So let's talk about the money that I've actually put in now. To start seeing these sort of results, I've put maybe £15,000-20,000 into stock. And I think that's a big thing that a lot of people do miss off, especially when you're sort of doing the wholesale route. You do have to put money into this business. This isn't a business that you can start with literally nothing. To start seeing substantial results, you are going to have to invest a substantial amount of money. I would recommend that you don't start wholesale with anything less than £5,000, and also just try and be realistic. It isn't going to happen overnight. But you can really compound that money, keep reinvesting until you've got a lot more money in your business. But £4,800 net profit in my first 30 days, I'm very happy with that. You've got to bear in mind that this is just a business that I run on my own, pretty much part-time. Obviously, I've got other commitments that I do have to invest a lot of time into. I haven't got any partners in this business. I haven't got anyone investing in this business. I don't have any employees. I'm sourcing the stock. I'm ordering the stock. I'm packing the stock. I'm sending the stock into Amazon. So to profit almost £5,000 in my first 30 days of wholesale, I'm very happy with that. And these results are fairly achievable for most people. You haven't got to be the next Albert Einstein to learn how to sell on Amazon, to source products at wholesale price and sell them on Amazon at retail price. And the reason Amazon is such a popular business model is because there's millions of customers at our fingertips on one platform. You don't have to run any ads. You don't have to deal with any customers. All we have to do is source the products, send those products into Amazon, and they literally handle the rest for us. They pack and ship our products directly to the customer. So there's no dealing with customer returns or anything like that. Obviously, the customers can return them. Amazon will either resell them for you or send them back to you, but you don't have to deal with customers all the time. All we focus on is sourcing the best products at the best prices and sending them into Amazon. So let's give you some tips now if you're struggling to find suppliers or you're looking to start Amazon FBA Wholesale. And obviously the biggest thing with this is actually finding the suppliers. Now, I have made a video in the past which goes over sort of the standard methods, which is, Google, Jungle Scout, reverse storefront sourcing. You can watch that here. But today I want to talk about actually changing your mindset to, I think a lot of us, especially when we first start looking for suppliers, we think this is hard, we can't find suppliers, there's hardly any suppliers out there. But in reality, there's tons of suppliers, there's products everywhere. Everywhere you go, there is products that have come from a supplier. So sometimes you just need a change of mindset to actually start thinking, okay, there is suppliers everywhere. Every time you go out, have a look in your shops, you'll see products, you'll start seeing suppliers. There's lorries everywhere that are carrying pallets of stock to different places. Like, for example, if you go down to your corner shop, you go in there, you buy a drink or something, that shop has bought them products from a supplier or a wholesaler at wholesale price, and they've sold them to you at retail price. But a lot of us don't walk into a shop and think, right, let's see if I can see where these products come from. Is there any boxes laying around with, the brand or the supplier on it? Are they unpacking a pallet at the minute? Is there boxes on the top shelf with different supplier names on? That's the sort of things you have to be looking for. You have to always be on the lookout, always be on the hunt. Every time I'm out, if I go somewhere, I'll be looking at a product, seeing if there's any boxes around, seeing if there's any pallets around, suppliers. And then you just get into that mindset where that's the case, and everywhere you go, you start looking. Like if you go into Sainsbury's, for example, most Sainsbury's, especially on sort of like the beauty aisles, if you look on the top shelf, it's normally like 6 foot plus above. You'll see the boxes which have got the products in. So the products are in bigger boxes, they're not individually out. You can take them boxes down, have a look at the box, and I've actually found distributors and suppliers on them boxes in the supermarket. All you do is take a picture of that with your phone. When you get home, find the information, give them a call. Now, 9 times out of 10, they're not going to work with you directly, but a lot of the time they will actually give you another supplier that's sort of lower down the chain than them. So they might distribute to ex-wholesalers. Them wholesalers might sell to another wholesaler, and you really just have to try and find that supplier in that chain that you can actually get on with to get them products. Another thing you can do, this toy here, for example, when you're in the shop or wherever you may be, if you actually look on the bottom of the box, don't know how well you can see that, but it actually says on here who's it manufactured by, who's a distributor. Again, you're probably not going to be able to work with them directly, but you contact them and see who they distribute to, see what suppliers they use, and then you try and open accounts up with them. And another method that I like to use, most of you won't want to do this because you do have to be pretty ballsy, but when you're in a shop, when you're in a supermarket, pick the product up if you want to try and find a supplier for it. So go to the person that's working there in Sainsbury's or Asda, show them the product and just ask them, say, hi, you couldn't actually tell me where Sainsbury's get these products from. I'm looking to source these products on a wholesale level myself. And they may go out the back, check the pallet, check the products, check the boxes, and come back with a supplier information for you. All you've got to do is ask them. Worst case, they can say no. But it's just little things like that which, a lot of people don't want to do or they're not doing. You need to just think out of the box a little bit, change your mindset, and you will start finding suppliers. But that's going to wrap this video up. I have got about 8 or 9 pallets getting delivered next week, so I may do a little video on that. If you're interested in that, make sure you subscribe to the channel. And also make sure you follow me on Instagram or TikTok, because I am posting a lot more frequent videos and updates on there. So if you want to see more about the products I'm buying, what I'm selling, profits I'm making, definitely check my Instagram and my TikTok out. But that's all from me. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.